Hey, thanks for coming back. You know what? I appreciate all of the people who come back and watch my videos. I'm experimenting with some things. I'm enjoying this YouTube journey and trying to build my subscriber base, and I appreciate you watching my videos. So let's start with that. And then the next thing is today we're gonna be talking about super fast UX design. And I'm gonna talk to you about some of the processes that you can use to dramatically speed up the speed and the effectiveness of doing UX design for your clients. Okay, let's dig in. And if we're gonna talk about UX design, there are two people that you have to talk about, Jakob Nielsen and Don Norman, who are kind of the godfathers of usability design. They're the two principals of the Nielsen-Norman group, and they have been at this for a long time. And they've established a lot of the standards and rules and methodologies that we use in UX design today. And one of the ones that I love so much is Jacob's Law of Internet User Experience. I think this used to be called Jacob's Law of Usability or of Internet Usability, something like that. But calling it this now, Jacob's Law of Internet User Experience. This is Jakob Nielsen right here. And he's been dubbed the king of usability and the web's usability czar and the smartest man on the internet, that kind of stuff. He's been at this for a long time. And his law of internet usability is something that we have to take into consideration when we're doing UX design. Here's the law. Users spend most of their time on other sites. This means that users prefer your site to work the same way as all the other sites they already know. Design for patterns for which users are accustomed. Okay, so we're gonna take this mindset in throughout this video as we're talking about UX design and speeding up this UX design process. So I'm just planting this seed in you right now, and we're gonna build on this here in the next few minutes. The next thing we gotta look at is kind of this evolution of web design. And I shared, this was a few weeks ago, I shared the very first website I ever built as a freelance project. This is it on the screen, 1997, charged $300, built this website. You can see here we have some non-standard, by today's terms, usability features like a side navigation. Well, we were doing a lot of side navigations back in those days. That was a thing. But today we see top navigation for a variety of different reasons, especially responsiveness. So we look at this website and I thought, man, what did other websites look like back in the day? And so I went to the Wayback Machine and dug up some old website screenshots or old website archives of websites that we know and love back in the day. And one of those is Apple. Everybody loves Apple. We've all been talking about Apple. Ooh, Apple usability for so long. This was Apple's website in 1998. 1998, this was Apple's website. Some of the images are missing in the Wayback Machine. They just didn't get archived correctly. But you can see here, look at the bottom here. We have a nav below the promos. So we start with the big giant Apple word, the image, and then some promos, and then the navigation below the promos. Crazy, we don't see this kind of thing anymore. Here's Apple's website in 1999, and here we don't have any promos at all, and we have finally though a top navigation. 1999. This is Apple's website in 2004, and we're starting to see the establishment of some of the standards that we see all over the web now. We have a big navigation running along the top. We have a main hero section and multiple promos below. And in 2013, this was their website. And it hasn't changed very much in the past 10 years. You can see this version in 2013, and here is a screenshot of today's version. This is 2023. So 10 years later, I'm gonna just toggle back and forth. We have a main hero section, we have a top navigation, we have promos down below. Here we have a main hero section, top navigation, and over the last year or two, Apple's been stacking multiple main heroes below. So there's one hero, then another, then another, then another hero. That's been a convention that they've been using lately, but you'll still see a lot of hero section, and then multiple sub promos in a lot of websites that you look at. Now this is Nike's website in here, 2023. Top navigation horizontal, main hero section, and then below it you can see another main hero section. Here's Coca-Cola's website. Top navigation horizontal, main hero section, 2 promos below. Here's BMW's website. Top horizontal navigation, main hero section, 2 promos below. Very much the same UX design as we see with Coca-Cola. But the visual design is different between the 2 different websites. One looks like Coca-Cola, the other looks like BMW. And they look different because of what the designer is doing inside of the module. We have a hero section, that's standard. We have 2 promos, that's standard. But what do we do inside of those? We choose imagery, we have animation, we have typography choices, button style choices. There are different choices being made that reflect the brand, but the UX design or this usability strategy is the same between both of them. Nobody's really reinventing the wheel in these major high traffic websites for major brands. They're just populating the standard usability with cool imagery and branded elements. Okay, so this gets us to this process. Now we have Jacob's law of internet usability, and we have this evolution of web design and how we can see standard conventions across multiple different websites for major brands. Nobody's going too crazy. And the point of this video is that you shouldn't be going too crazy either. That people are using the internet and there are standards that everyone follows for good usability, and you don't want them to come to a website that you design and you have some crazy navigation idea that, oh, it's the greatest idea ever, but your users will struggle to use it because it is a different navigation style than what they've been trained to use from all the other websites that they go to. And this mindset can help us speed up the UX design process dramatically. Now, if you've taken any of my courses, you'll know my phased production strategy and how I use phases to break up a project and we invoice against the phases, blah, blah, blah. My courses teach this, and I've shared it in some non-course content as well. This is a 5-phase process that my agency used for web design. You have phase 1, which is strategy and information architecture. You have phase 2, UX design, user experience design. Phase 3, user interface design. Phase 4, beta development. And then phase 5, alpha development and launch. Now today, we're just gonna be talking about these first 2 phases as they relate to UX design. So we have phase 1, strategy and information architecture. Now what happens inside of this phase, there are a couple different deliverables. One of those is the sitemap. And the sitemap is just a org chart style deliverable that outlines all of the different pages that are gonna be in this website. And let's just say, for the sake of this video, that we have a little 4-page brochure website that we're gonna create for a client. Has a home page, an about page, a services page, and a contact page. That's our sitemap. Another thing that we do in phase 1 is the information architecture and content planning. Content planning is basically ideating what is the content gonna be on each of these pages. We need to know this so that we can create the UX designs, the wireframes. So I've created here the content plan for each of those 4 different pages. And we're gonna use this content plan to do the fast UX web design process that I'm gonna show you here right now. Okay, now as you transition into this wireframing process, this phase 2, UX design, you have to have a strategy in place for where you will build this website. And there are a lot of different options. I mean, you can build a custom website that's completely custom code. You can build it on a WordPress engine, a WordPress theme builder. You can build it on a template platform like Wix or a no-code platform like Editor X. And each of these platforms typically has a library of pre-built compositions or components This is the back end of my WordPress website right here. And if I click in to see the salient templates, I use Salient Theme Builder in the back end of my WordPress, have for years, for decades at my agency. We've been using Salient as a back end for WordPress sites. If I click on this and go to this Salient Studio, I will see a whole bunch of different pre-built modules that I can use as a starting point. Here's all the hero sections, and we know that our content plan requires a hero section on the top. We have about sections like this. We have counters and pricing sections that are all pre-built, ready to go in our build. Editor X, the no-code builder, has pre-built compositions inside of their platform. So we have welcome sections, about sections. The welcome section is their phrasing for a hero section, where we can just take this element right here and drop it on our site, and now boom, we have a pre-built module ready to go. Now, the reason that I'm showing you this is because what I did for Editor X is I wireframed all of their pre-built compositions. And I did it in Adobe XD and exported them as SVGs, and you can use them in any UX design software that you choose, but they're all wireframed already. So when you're doing a phase 2 wireframing UX design for your clients, you can quickly wireframe super fast that entire site based on the content plan that you have in place. Let me show you how that's done. I have on my screen 2 different Adobe XD files open. One of them are all of the wireframes based on the compositions that are in Editor X. So the composition is down below, like here. These are team compositions, and we have the screenshot of that composition. And then up above, we have a wireframe version of that. Now on the screen to my left, I have the content plan that we came up with when we worked with our client to plan the information for this website in phase 1. So here, let's just take the home page where we have a nav, then the hero section, then 2 promos, an overview, testimonial, call to action, and a footer. And we're going to do a quick wireframe of that home page. So I'm going to extend this page right here. I'm going to zoom out in my wireframe kit, and I'm going to find a hero section that we know we need to have a nav. Ooh, a nav first. So I'm going to go over here to my navigations, my navigation options, and we're going to just select this nav right here. And then I can go and paste it into my wireframe over here on the left. Next thing we need is a hero section, and the hero sections are up here. And I like that one that I just dropped in as an example on the Editor X thing. So I'm going to grab this hero section right here, and we're going to drop that hero section into our wireframe. And then we go and check, what do we need next? 2 promos. So a 2 promo bucket. That's what we need. So we're going down here looking for a wireframe that has 2 little promotional elements in it. And we can see we got a few different options that we could use. I want one with images. So we can let's just take this one right here. Actually, let's take this one. Our beautiful available now. Nope, we're going to take this one. Sorry for jumping around. This one has 2 little promos on it. So I'm going to take that and paste it into my page here. And then we go and check what is next. It's an overview. So I'll zoom out and say we want a little overview paragraph section that we can tell a little about the business. So here is the overview section. We'll take this one for the about page and move this down to here. And then we need testimonial. And I'm going to grab the testimonial widget. Let's here's some testimonial widgets right here. So let's just grab this one and paste it down below right here. And then we have a call to action that we need next. And the CTAs are gonna be, I think they call them banners on Editor X. Yeah, so here is a little call to action, couple different options. Let's just grab this. Let's just grab this little blue one right here and paste that onto this page. So there's my CTA and then a footer. And the footers I know are up here in the top right. So I'm gonna grab this footer out of this and paste it into here. And now we have, in just a couple of minutes, wireframe the home page against the content plan that we had from our phase 1. That homepage is done. Now you'd go in and you would tweak some of the text and things to match your specific client. Up in the top left where it says business name, we would want to add in the client's name, maybe even swap out that logo. We'd want to change out this text to match something that they're promoting, change these 2 promos to be their core 2 products or services that they want to promote under that homepage area. And then this about text, we could also tweak to match the client's brand, etc. So you want to adjust this stuff. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we did a super fast, easy to make wireframe because we had the pre-built modules that are already UX proven based on the way that everybody uses the internet. We know these modules work. They're already proven, they're already pre-built in Editor X, and we can hurry and spit out the wireframes, get approval from our client, and then transition into the design phase and then the build phase. So jumping back over to Editor X, let's just see how fast this can happen to go from wireframe to build. Because we use the pre-built compositions, we can make it go really fast. Now I use this same module here, the next big thing. We use that composition on our wireframe on the left. We see it on the right. And now the next composition we need is one of the product compositions. And it was this one right here that is pre-built with 2 promos. So now that matches. And then the next one we need is an about us, just this little text version. So we're going to drop that down below here. And the next one is a testimonial, which we will drop right here. Which testimonial did we use? This one right here with an image next to it. And then we're going to go and put in a banner, which is their call to action. And we've got one that has a little image on the left. No, images. This one right here is the one. And then we're going to go down here and grab a footer and put the footer in place. All right, here, headers and footers. And we have this one right here that is the footer. Okay, so now this page is using the pre-built compositions that we also had in the wireframe process. And in just a few minutes time, we were able to go from content plan to wireframes. You present the wireframes to the client. Then you would go to the design phase where you make those wireframes be the design style and images and typography and things of your client's business. And then when you go to build, it's so fast. And the nice thing about the build with these pre-built compositions is that it's already responsive. All of these modules are pre-built to work in a responsive environment where you can see them here in the mobile form or a tablet and how they're going to be responsive, or a desktop and how it will expand and contract based on the platform that they're using. So what we've done in this example is we've sped up the wireframing process, which will speed up the design process, and it will dramatically speed up the build process. And we're not reinventing the wheel. If you go back and look at the Coca-Cola site versus the BMW site that we looked at in the first section of this video, they're the same structure, but the design style changed from one to the next. And that's all we're doing here. We're using Jacob's law of internet usability or internet user experience, and we're adopting that and using pre-built modules to design a custom website because it will be in the style of the client, but we're not reinventing the wheel and designing some left side navigation or crazy nav that nobody's going to know how to use because everybody's used to surfing the internet this way because of all of the other websites that we go to. And over the last 10 to 12 years, we've established in the world standards of usability for websites, and you need to stick to those. And all of these pre-built modules and wireframe kits and things like what I've shown you here can speed up that process dramatically. So that's the process. We're speeding things up by using standard usability structures that everybody knows because of the way they surf the web. As a designer or a web designer, you don't need to get crazy. You don't need to go and make something totally crazy in the navigation because all it's going to do is make your users struggle to use the site. Stick to the standard conventions and get crazy inside of the boxes. The standard modules that people use. Get crazy in there. Make an amazing visual. Make a cool animation. Create an awesome brand, but stick to standard conventions in the way that the site flows from click to click. Okay, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope it gives you some insights, some ideas on ways to help improve your processes, speed up your processes in your creative business. Check out my course, the Web Design Business Bootcamp, which includes my wireframe kit for Editor X. If you use Editor X or are planning on using Editor X, I have a huge module inside the course, few hours of content all about Editor X and how to use it, and it includes my wireframe kit. And if you don't use Editor X, the other 23 hours of the course is all the web design processes from my agency, all my contracts, my strategies. We go into UX design, UI design, mood boarding, content planning, all of it in how do you create a website project and have it go smoothly for your clients. You're going to learn how to scope it and how to propose it, how to sell it, and then how to execute. Go into all of it in the way that I did at my agency, where we did millions of dollars in web design projects. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll throw a link to that stuff down below. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I'm trying to build my channel, trying to grow, trying to deliver value and good content for you. And I appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the DMs, all of it. I love it. Thank you so much for your support. See you again soon.